Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Temple Buddhist Center's Sunday morning meditation service. My name is Victor, and I'm honored to be of service this morning. We hope that our gathering today finds each and every one of you happy and healthy, but please know that if you are struggling in any way, we hope that Temple Buddhist Center, our Sangha, our teachers, this community can be a source of strength for you, a source of refuge as we open our hearts to you and to your loved ones. And of course, we also want to welcome everyone joining us from all around the world this morning on our live stream. So let's begin this morning with some conscious breath work. A conscious breath is where you seal the mouth, breathe deeply through the nose, you hold that breath for just a few moments, and then you release slowly so that the exhale is longer than the inhale. Let's begin. Breathing in and holding for a moment, feeling the fullness of the lungs. And releasing slowly in a long, slow, metered fashion. And as you release, just checking in with the body, making sure that there are no points that are tense or contracted, remembering to relax the forehead, unfurrow the eyebrows, the jaw is easy, the shoulders drop, and the belly softens. And let's take another conscious breath together. Holding and releasing slowly. And as you release, giving yourself full and complete permission to unplug from that energy of going and doing, striving and efforting, as together in sacred Sangha, we cultivate the energy of just being. And a third conscious breath together. Holding and releasing slowly. And as you release on this third conscious breath, allowing into our awareness now the present moment. The present moment might seem like a small increment of time, but it actually has no beginning and no ending, and we are always arriving in the here and the now. Here at Temple Buddhist Center, we like to begin our services with a little bit of chanting. Chanting is an integral part of every tradition. Chanting is not about being a singer, it's about having a voice. It is about a deeply devotional expression of what is sacred within you and sharing that with the universe. Our chant today is Om Ami Dewa Ze, Om Ami Dewa Ze. And you might recognize the seed sound, Om. It is the sound of the universe, reminding each one of us that we are a beautiful note in a grand cosmic symphony that is forever playing. And Ami Dewa Ze, in the Buddhist tradition, is a chant that enhances compassion for all beings in all places. Compassion. And especially, as the Buddha said, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. And so compassion for all beings, including ourselves. So with that, let's take a breath and we'll begin. Together. Om Ami Dewa Ze. Om Ami Dewa Ze. Om Ami Dewa Ze. Om dewa ze. Om Ami Dewa ze. Om Ami Dewa ze. With a smile. Om Ami Dewa ze. Om Ami Dewa ze. Once more. Om Ami Dewa ze. Here at Temple Buddhist Center, we practice Western Buddhism. Western Buddhism is a blend of Eastern philosophy and Western psychology, and this new and exciting form of spirituality is dynamic, it's growing, it's learning, it's changing with us as we learn more every day about this amazing human experience. It is inclusive, it is active, and it focuses on core Buddhist insights as well as mindfulness, meditation, and their practical applications in our daily lives. Our goal here is not to get everyone to agree on a specific lineage or philosophy or sect of Buddhism, but rather it's on a shared experience of mindfulness, oneness, and love. Whether we are chanting together, whether we are sharing from the heart, or spending time in noble silence, we respect that you will participate at a level that is comfortable for you. We take refuge in the three jewels and acknowledge these core values as expressions of the awakened mind, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We value awareness of our Buddha nature, as well as the Buddha nature of all beings, bringing a fresh and a new experience to each and every encounter. Next, the second jewel is the Dharma, the truth teachings that release us from fear, delusion, and help us to realize the true nature of who we are. And finally, of course, Sangha, our spiritual community, where we come together to help each other along every step of the path, to come together to practice the teachings and support each other. Let's take a moment now to silence any cell phones or electronic devices as we prepare now for a time in meditation and contemplation. We will begin with the prayer of refuge, as you see up here or at home on your screen. Together, in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our true nature. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and our innate goodness. And so, as we prepare now for a time in meditation, if you have an extensive practice, then we invite you to practice in a way that is fitting for you this morning. If, however, you might be newer to meditation, we're going to begin first with setting an intention, a dedication of intention, and then we will sound the bell 3 times for the 3 jewels. And then from there, our teacher today, Mr. Robert Brumet, will guide us in a guided meditation that's designed to assist you in moving into the stillness. We will spend approximately 10 to 12 minutes today in noble silence, connecting with each other in consciousness, connecting with our Sangha near and far in that vast awareness. And so, let's take a conscious breath together. Body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness, transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow, and realize the true nature of who they are.
Together, we hear the sound of the bell fading into the silence. As we sit together in the silence, in the silence of our own being, even if the mind is busy, just go behind the mind where there's eternal silence. Just as sometimes the clouds cover the sun, we know the sun is still there. So we go to that place behind the clouds of whatever's in our present moment experience. Become aware of that space, that energy, that wisdom, love, joy, the expansiveness of who we really are. That's always present. So we bring our attention to the breath, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in consciously, breathing out with awareness. Feeling the breath in the body. Feeling the breath, if you can, deep in the belly. As you breathe, see if you can feel the sensations in your belly, your lower abdomen. Feel the movement, the energy that may be there. And another deep breath. I invite you to feel that breath in the chest, the heart area. Breathing in and out through the heart. And then becoming aware of the breath at the nostrils. Feeling the air move through the nostrils, touching the upper lip. And now, if you can, just be aware of all three of those centers as you breathe. The belly, the heart, the head. And as you relax, just let yourself breathe naturally, normally. And see where you notice the breath the strongest. Some people feel it mostly in the belly. Some people feel it mostly at the chest, the heart. Some people may feel it primarily at the nostrils. Just notice what's natural for you. Let this be your anchor, your home, the place you go whenever you feel lost. The sensation of the breath as you feel it in the body. Let that bring you home. Noticing the breath, surrendering to the breath, letting go of everything else. And being the breath itself. Being the breath. Letting go into the silence. Now, at this time, I invite you to become aware of the body sitting in the chair, sensing your arms, your legs, torso, your hands, your feet, your head, your neck, feeling the sensations in the body. Then I invite you to become aware of hearing. Just relax the mind and allow the sounds to come to you. Being aware also of thinking, which is a lot like hearing. Thinking is really an internal speaking, so we can listen. We can hear from so-called outside sounds as well as the inside sounds of thinking. Sensing the breath, the body, the thoughts, hearing. And in a moment you'll hear the sound of the bell, and when you do, I invite you to open your eyes and include seeing in your practice. Notice what you feel in your body as you open your eyes. Notice what happens in the mind when you open your eyes. Not trying for anything, just asking, what's here? What's my experience in this moment? And here is the sound of the bell. Well, good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy rain day. I sort of identified with the earth, just absorbing the cool water. It could be said that the essence of all spiritual teachings addresses the question of, who am I? Who am I? That's a great question to meditate upon. Who am I? What am I? Am I? Mm-hmm. And there's been a number of models of the human being that have been used to describe and to serve as aids in discovering this quest of who am I? In the West, we began by looking at the outside world, the stars, the earth, saying, who am I in relationship to this? What is this? What is this great world that I live in? Sometimes dangerous, sometimes friendly, sometimes beautiful, sometimes frightening. But in the East, they went the other direction, they went inward. So what is this world in here? So we live in a very rich time when both of these journeys can be brought together, woven together. The journey of what is this that appears to be around us, and the journey of who is this that appears to be inside. These are brought together today, or at least we have the ability to bring these together. They're synthesized each time we talk, each time we study. That's a lot of what Western Buddhism is. It's just answering this question in the context of Buddhism, in the context of Western mind and the Western culture. Who am I in relationship to this? So one of the models that shows up that I'd like to share with you is the model of the horse, the carriage, the driver, and the master. And I love the picture that Victor took. He went all the way to England to take that one, didn't you? Thank you. So let's look at the four components. The carriage, the horse, the driver, and say the master, the one that owns it all. The one that's sitting inside where it's nice and dry. Air conditioned, maybe. We can set this up by looking at what can be considered the fourfold nature of the human being. Another way to look at it is the four centers of consciousness that comprise the intelligence of the human being. First of all, we have a body, of course. And in this teaching, the center of intelligence is of the body is at the belly, at the abdomen. Chinese call it the dantian, Japanese the hara. Different names are given to it. But it's often recognized as the center of body intelligence. And body intelligence is a very interesting thing. The body learns very slowly. It learns only by doing. You know, when you learn to ride a bicycle, when you learn to swim, when you learned to dance or play ball or whatever you learned, how did you learn it? By doing it. You know, you can read books about how to ride a bicycle. You could probably get a PhD in bicycle riding. But you can't learn to ride a bicycle until you ride a bicycle. See, that's the way the body learns. That's the way much of our learning takes place, is actually by doing it. And some of us, that's our primary way of learning. For some, it's not. Some of us learn primarily through the heart, through the emotions, through relationships, through feelings, through value, through poetry, through art. The heart is another center of the body. The heart also learns slowly, but once it learns, like the body, it doesn't forget. The body doesn't forget how to ride a bicycle. You may have not ridden a bicycle for 20 years, and you can get on it and ride it, right? Quite interesting how that works. Same way with swimming and certain other activities. You may be a little rusty, but it comes back very quickly. You know? Could you write an essay on how you tie your shoe? I couldn't. But you can tie your shoe without even thinking about it, right? So, the body has knowledge, and the heart has knowledge as well. In the heart knowledge, we learn through relating to others. The heart learns to open, or it learns to close. It learns to feel the immense joy of love, and it learns to feel the excruciating pain of rejection and hurt. So the body takes a while to heal, the heart takes a while to heal as well. In the head, that's the place we usually think of as our center of intelligence in the West. We don't realize it's simply one of many. But certainly head knowledge is very important. You know, hopefully you know how to get home when you leave here, because you have a map, so to speak, in your head. We have all sorts of maps in our head that tell us what to do, who we are, when to zig, when to zag, when to say yes, when to say no. So these three centers are focused primarily on keeping the body alive, survival. There's a fourth center, sometimes called the wisdom center, the spiritual center, the Buddha, the Christ center. And that's often depicted as being just above the head. The crown chakra, as it's sometimes called. And this is the connection we have to the universe itself. It's almost like this is our spiritual umbilical cord to the universe. And so meditation, we often activate that crown chakra. But sometimes we can activate that, but not integrate it into our everyday life. And that's really the work, the joy, the play of being human, is to integrate these four parts of ourself. When these four parts of ourself are integrated and healthy, we have a state called wholeness. We have a state called being awake, being fully awake, being fully alive, being fully in love, being fully in our bodies. There's a great joy of being in our bodies. There's a great joy of being in the heart. So as I'm speaking, I invite you to really feel that if you can. Just feel the body, feel the center of the body. Feel the center of the heart. Feel the center of the head or the intellect. Feel all three of these at the same time. And then feel the crown chakra. Feel this place that's just beyond the body. When we can activate and coordinate all four of those, we have a healthy body, mind, spirit system. And one of the models that's used to show us the right relationship or the optimal relationship among all these components is the model of the horse in the carriage. So of these four, the body, the heart, the mind, and the spiritual center, the wisdom center, I'll call it, which one of these would relate to the carriage? The carriage is the body. The carriage is what gets us where we're going. The horses represent the heart center, the passion center. That's what motivates us. It's the heart that motivates us. You know, we can learn all sorts of things up here, but we're not fully alive if we're not engaged. You know, your intellect may have told you how to drive here, but it was really your heart that brought you here. And it's finally getting here. You know, you may have the desire, you may know how to get here, but if the body doesn't move, we're not going anywhere. So the carriage is like the body, the horses are like the heart center, the passions. The horses motivate, pull the cart. The driver is like the mind. The driver directs the horses, which pulls the carriage. But none of this has any meaning unless it gets the master inside the carriage to where he wants to go or where she wants to go. So ideally, the master inside the carriage tells the driver, I want to go to such and such a place. You know, take me to Temple Buddhist Center. The driver knows how to get there. The driver knows how to instruct the horses to move. And the horses move and pull the carriage, which gets the master to where he wants to go or where she wants to go. The whole system is really about the master doing what he needs to do or what she needs to do. So our body, our mind, our intellect is all about serving something beyond all of that. And what it's serving is the self, the no self, the Christ self, the Buddha self, whatever name is given to it, that represents the master within us. So we can have dysfunctions in this system, and that's important to recognize that. Because we may have a healthy horse, a healthy driver, a carriage in perfect condition. But what happens, for example, if the driver doesn't hear the master? Or maybe the driver doesn't want to hear the master. I don't want to go to TBC. I want to go to the movies. So the driver takes over and goes where he wants to go. So he doesn't care what the master has to say. Or he may not be able to hear the master. Or the driver may not even understand the language to the master speaking. So there's a breakdown. And actually, this is a description of how human beings live today, for the most part. With the driver in charge, the master being ignored. In fact, some people don't even want to admit there's a master in the carriage. There's just the driver, there's just the horse, and there's just the carriage. And it's all about me. That's where the ego is when the driver takes over, commits mutiny, so to speak. Says, I'm in charge here. But the problem is, of course, no matter what the driver does, it doesn't serve what the master needs, what the master is here for. So why are you here? What do we do? Everything is about serving the master within you, by whatever name you give it, he, she, or it. Now, what if the driver does hear the master and tells the horses to go, and the horses don't feel like it? Maybe they're tired. Maybe the horses are, maybe one of them is lame. Maybe the horse is lame. So maybe the horse misunderstands. Or what can often happen, and this happens frequently, is the horse gets spooked. It hears a loud noise from outside, and it doesn't care what the driver or the master want. It takes off. How many people here have been on a runaway horse? It's an experience, isn't it? You see, the horse really doesn't care what you want. You're totally irrelevant when that horse is taken off. And that happens to us, runaway passions. The head knows better. We say, the hell with you. The heart knows better. We say, the hell with you, the intelligent heart. And it just takes off. We become frightened. We become overwhelmed with aversion or craving. The horses are running away. Or on the other hand, if the horses are sick, tired, lame, what's that like? Well, that's like maybe depression or apathy. You know, I know I'm getting the guidance, I'm getting the understanding, but there's no heart to it, there's no passion to it. So my teaching helps me get in touch with the master, the driver, but there's no heart to it. So we got to have heart. That's where the horses, the passion of the horses. Horses are very powerful. And yet at the same time, they have to serve the driver and the master. And last, but not least certainly, is when the horse moves, it has to pull the carriage. And if the carriage wheel is broken, it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, to move the carriage. So the body needs to be healthy, at least to a degree. So the integration of the body, the integration of the mind, the heart, and certainly the master. That's the ultimate outcome of this practice. Being aware, who's in charge right now? The body, the mind, the heart, the master. Is there clear communication from the master to the driver? That typically is where most of the problem is. Maybe the driver thinks he's hearing the master and he's overhearing somebody from outside yell. Maybe the driver's preoccupied with what his mother used to tell him was the right thing to do. You know? So, meditation on the body, meditation on the heart, meditation on the intellect, and ultimately seeing all three of these as integrated and serving the master. All that we do is for that purpose. All that we do is for that purpose. We can live our lives as we live our lives, It's not always what we do, but it's how we do it. Do we do it with the intention of serving the highest within us and within all beings? You see? In the legend of the Holy Grail, the ultimate question is, whom does the Grail serve? Percival is told, that's your job, is to go find. So he's going around, whom does the Grail serve? And ultimately the answer finally comes, the Grail serves the Grail King. So the search for the Holy Grail is the search for that king within yourself. The horse, the buggy, the carriage is all part of this system that is you. It's more than you. It's all of you. So I'll close by inviting you to simply go within for a moment. Just be aware of these 4 centers as best you can. Listening to the Master. Being the driver. Instructing the horses. Feeling the passion. What am I passionate about? What do I want? And finally, sensing your body. See if you can feel the passion in your body, the life in your body. All of this serves the Master within you, the Master that you are. Thank you for sharing your practice with us this morning.
Thank you so much, Robert. And so as we take a moment to drop from the head into the heart and just embody the teachings, no longer needing to synthesize, analyze, figure out, just feel the teachings, how they resonate with the heart, or if they don't resonate with the heart, that's fine too. Just being present with what you are aware of. And as we move into our heart practice today is an equanimity practice. And so with all of our heart practices, many people like to have an outward display or gesture. So some people like to create the Anjali Mudra, or perhaps place a hand on your heart. Or if you're sitting in meditation, you can just rest with your hands on your lap, but we invite you to flip them upside down so that there's more of an outward expression, so to speak. And so as we take a conscious breath together, breathing in, holding for a moment, and releasing, as we transition now from the Dharma talk into our heart practice, just resting in the heart space for a moment, relaxing any physical tension in the head or the body. And as the breath settles into its natural flow, begin to reflect on your deepest desire for happiness and freedom from suffering for both yourself and others. Reflect on your desire to serve the needs of others and to be compassionately engaged in the world. Reflect on both the joy and the sorrow that exist in the world. Allow your heart's truest longing for truth and well-being to come into consciousness. With each breath, breathe into the heart center, acknowledgement of the need to balance your pure intention of creating positive change with the reality of your inability to control people or circumstances, finding that balance in the heart. And you can repeat silently to yourself these phrases as we expand and intensify our equanimity practice. All beings are responsible for their own actions. Suffering is created through one's relationship to experience, not by experience itself. Happiness is created by one's relationship to experience, not by the experience itself. The freedom and happiness of others are dependent on their actions, not my wishes for them. Relaxing into the vibration of this balance between harmonizing the heart's deepest desire to help others with the mind's wise response of acknowledging our limitations. And so let's take a conscious breath together. Breathing in, I calm. Breathing out, I smile at life. And so, in the true spirit of dana, the Buddhist practice of generosity, temple services here are given freely. In the same way, if you choose to give, please give with a generous heart, which means not in return for anything that you have received today, but rather so that those who may be seeking refuge will find it here in this temple with these teachings and with these teachers. The dana boxes are located at the back of the meditation hall, and we take a moment of gratitude for all of our wonderful ambassadors, those folks who have committed to regular monthly electronic giving. It's not about the amount, it's just that the regular monthly giving helps us to set a budget here at Temple Buddhist Center. Also, we take a moment of gratitude for all of our wonderful volunteers, those folks who help us each and every day to help our community bring different experiences for each other, whether it's connection or a deepening of the understanding of the Dharma, or just in play or even social activism or giving back to our community. And tremendous gratitude. Thank you, Rochelle, for your beautiful music today. Thank you, Mr. Robert Brumet, for being a friend and a guide and a mentor and everything that you do for Temple Buddhist Center. And of course, also especially thank you to each and every one of you for everything that you do for Temple Buddhist Center, sharing your heart and your presence and your practice with all of us here at TBC. We certainly are the better for it. And so, as we prepare to end our time together this morning, I will put the Bodhicitta dedication up on the board. And so we will recite this one time together. And then I have some important announcements, so I hope you can stick around for a few moments for that. And so, our dedication together. May the pure, brilliant sun of Bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. And with the palms of our hands together in front of our hearts as we go forth now from this place, may we enter each moment in innocence, guided by the wisdom of our hearts. And as we open our hands, open our eyes, shine our light into the world. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Don't forget to join us downstairs for delicious crumble cookies. Thank you, Carrie. And some tea and coffee and just some community time. Also, the monks are coming this week. It's a big week here at Temple Buddhist Center for the monks who are joining us. They'll be coming into town on Monday, and they will be coming here on Tuesday, and then Tuesday evening is the actual opening ceremony. And I just want to tell you guys a couple of things. Our community is absolutely amazing. I cannot tell you. Let me give you just a few of the things that have happened. The community put together a GoFundMe page to pay for the lodging for the monks. They got an Airbnb over in Mission. It's a big house that'll house all 9 of them. And so the community put a GoFundMe, and it maxed out in 3 days. The whole community just boom. You guys have a place to stay for a week. It gets better. Our very own Jake Marshall, who painted this watercolor, has donated 50 of them to give to the monks so that they can sell them at the table to help raise funds for their tour. And so he's an amazing artist. There's a large version of this that he has available, but this is the print so that the monks can sell this. Bolings has brought over a $500 gift card so that during the week while the monks are here working on the sand mandala, the peace mandala, they can go over and get noodles and dumplings and just kind of have some stuff to eat. Other members of our community, Mithra and some others, have contacted various Indian and Tibetan cultures within Kansas City, and they're putting together a big lunch. They're going to bring authentic food from the Karnataka state and also from Tamil Nadu state to bring it here for the monks so they can have some homemade cooking from home like it is from where they're from. So again, our community is just amazing in how it is stepping forward to help out in this wonderful visit. Don't forget, next Sunday at 1 is part of our Oneness at 1 series. Next Sunday, Tim and Brian will be putting on another class or a session of authentic relating, a chance for adults to learn to speak more from the heart. I guess it would be letting the horses come together and talk, right? Oh, thank you so much, Dave. We have placed out in the lobby, right by the door, a little box with some cards. Any questions that the community has for the monks. Some people might want to know, how many times a day do you meditate? What's a day in the life like? These are questions that over the course of the week, I can provide to the monks. And then next Sunday, when we have our day with them, I can go through and share with you the answers. Many of the monks do not speak English, and so they'll be working on this through the course of the week, and so we can share that with you then. Thank you, Dave. Very important. So please, any questions you have, fill that out and put it in the card. Also, of course, our very own youth and family program. Beth has been working on our Puppets of Peace, and so the kiddos are working on those every Sunday, and we'll have those ready to go here very soon. And also, there is Temple Buddhist Center is partnering with, we're not actually putting this on, but we are partnering with Cedar Hill Amphitheater and Campgrounds for a Women's Wellness Weekend, September 8th through the 10th. It'll be 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There are all modes. There's glamping, there's camping, there's cabins, there's primitive camping, and there are going to be a number of different teachers providing different modalities, everything from yoga to Reiki. Temple Buddhist Center on Friday night will be putting on dances of universal peace, chanting, and then a flower mandala. So please go to cedarhillmusic.com, or you can also stop by our Facebook page to find out more about that. And of course, don't forget our sign-up sheets out at the counter out front. Our wonderful lending library that Zan is sitting next to. Raise your hands. So our lending library is right over here. There's lots of new books in it. And don't forget to stop by our store. Thank you so much for that, Liz, for building our awesome store. I will leave this up on the a board for you to take pictures of. And so again, thank you everyone so much. I wish you, as you go into your day, I wish you peace, blessings, and umbrellas. I forgot, go Chiefs.